Moving on now to talking about some HR issues. The first one is how do we go about hiring a Chinese, a manager for China once you've decided to set up a team in China?
Right. So the manager of the China operation is always the most important position. Whether you employ him directly under a woofie or whether you employ him under an incubator, the first person will probably determine your destiny in China. There's different opinions about who should be the first manager. Some foreign companies prefer to have a foreign manager, whether it's Australian or American or European. They believe the communication would be easier. He speaks better English, he understands the way we think, and it will be easier for us as headquarters to convey the messages to him, and it's his problem to deliver to his team. So this is one opinion. Another one is you could maybe hire an Asian who speaks Chinese, knows the culture, so maybe, but at the same time speaks good English. So you can find a lot of Singaporean managers, you can find Taiwanese or Hong Kongese who have been educated somewhere in the West, and they know more of the Western culture, and people believe that they could bridge the two cultures better. And another option is to hire a local Chinese person. Now, I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer, whether there's advantages and disadvantages to each one of these options. Personally, I would choose a good Chinese manager, somebody who comes from the industry, who knows very well the industry, preferably speaks good English, it always helps. But then again, it doesn't really matter who is the manager, foreigner, Taiwanese, probably Taiwanese, Singaporean, and Hong Kongese are not such a good option because there's a lot of issues that we don't even understand. What are the cultural issues between these countries? There's a lot of hidden agendas that we as foreigners don't come close to understand, and then there's a lot of history between these countries, and sometimes it brings even more tension. So you don't have only the Australian and Chinese, you bring in the Taiwanese, and it's a whole political issue. So I would stay away from other Asians. It's either a foreigner or local manager. But then again, you can find great people in every aspect. But the most important thing is, first of all, to evaluate the candidate with professional tools like you would anywhere else in the world. And some people think, oh, it's in China, it's so difficult to assess the candidates. We don't really know how to do it. And many times you fall for the nicest guy who speaks the best English, and many times it's not the right guy. So first you need to assess the guy or the girl, whether they have the right qualifications, and you need to verify everything on their CV, because in the CV you can write everything, but you need to verify, you need to do a reference check, you need to speak to previous companies, previous employers, previous co-workers. You need to do a proper recruiting process, making sure that the person is the right person for your business. The next thing, you need to give him proper training to do, so he can do the right job for you. You bring him to Australia, get him to meet the overseas team, provide him with all the tools that he needs to do in order to sell into the Chinese market. And the last thing is to provide mentoring, ongoing training, and control and supervision mechanism. Now, many companies or people feel uncomfortable to set up this control mechanism. They're very worried to offend their employees. They're very worried to give loose face to the manager, and if they ask him too many questions, he'll be offended. And everybody knows about the losing face in China is such a terrible thing. But this is very important. And in fact, we believe that when you set up the right control mechanism, and when you set up proper and clear rules, then the employees respect you, respect the company, and they know that this is a serious company and they need to take their work seriously. If you let them loose and you leave them in a gray zone, then they will lose the control and they would take advantage of the situation. I think it's very good for Chinese employees to know what are the rules, so they know exactly what is black and white. But they don't know it, and then they use the situation. So setting up rules is not offending anyone. It's just showing that you care about your business, that you know how to run the business, you're professional, and then they will care about the business just as well.